Welcome back to our Friday review. Great to be here with you today. Always excited to be ending the week with our Friday review show, bringing you the best of the week. We're bringing you the favorite book reviews, the product reviews, always at least 2 research studies that I think that you should be aware of, that you should know yourself, share with your family, your loved ones, so that we can always grow as health-based and health-minded individuals. So that is always my goal with the Friday review. I love to be able to start the show with what's been going on. So the first thing I want to share with you, first and foremost, is if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. I hope that you've been enjoying the holiday season. This has been obviously a very interesting year and a unique holiday season. I know many people aren't able to share the holidays, be together this time of the year. I do hope that in just 3 or 4 months from now, this will be, for the most part, behind us, that we'll be moving forward to a different chapter in my life. I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful. I hope that that comes true. And I just wish all of you a very happy and healthy holiday season, regardless of what holiday you may be celebrating. So, well, other thing I wanted to share is this, is that I do believe, I just believe that these next 12 months are going to be a big year of growth for all of us. We went through a lot over these past 9 months or so, and I feel that coming out on the other side is going to allow for a lot more growth. We're going to have a lot more understanding. Most of us never went through anything like this in our lifetime. And I just hope that it brings us together more as a global health-based community, global, just global humanity, that people are starting to just be a little bit kinder with each other, a little bit more accepting, that they might not always agree on everything, but they're talking it out, and that they're understanding where the other person is coming from, so that we don't have to be so divided. And also with the understanding that we want to do our best for everyone. Like as much as we can, we want to help out as many people as possible. And I do hope, I feel that may be coming over this next year. So let's keep trying to usher that in, and again, enjoy the holidays. So other updates for today's show is I would love to be able to share with you that this January 11th, if you didn't already know, this January 11th will be our first detox of the year. That means that thousands of people over our global health community will join together. We will do a 7, 14, or 21-day detox, depending on the amount of days that you would like for yourself. And if you've never done a functional medicine detox, I can't recommend enough starting out with that 21-day. It can be absolutely life-changing and life-transforming for many people, just like it was for me the first time I did that 21-day detox. Now I maintain every 12 weeks, every quarter, every season with the 7-day detox. And so if you haven't done your January 1 by January 11th, I recommend joining us. It's going to be a lot of fun. We post every single day inside of our cabralsupportgroup.com inspiration, what we're going through. We cheer each other on. It's really a lot of fun. So if you're like me and the goal is just to continue to empty that rain barrel and to stay healthy, get rid of those toxins from your body, that's the reason I'm doing it. Some people want to lose 5+ pounds in 7 days. Some people want to lose 14+ pounds in 21 days, like whatever you're going for, great. That can be part of your goals, right? Your New Year's goals. And I think that we should all have them. So my New Year's goals, I'll go over those probably towards the new year, but I want to continue to make sure that my health stays where it is, that I continue to focus on my immunity, that I continue to strengthen my overall body and really look at my exercise programs, continue to tweak those, and a lot of the anti-aging based regimens that I'm following. And of course, the functional medicine detox is the cornerstone of that. All right. One more thing that I want to share with you over at Equal Life right now, if you didn't already know, we are giving away for you and for someone else. So this is to give ideally to someone else. Now you can keep both yourself, but any purchase right now over $199. So let's say you're thinking about running a lab, great time to do it, right? Because any purchase over $199, you get 2 free unflavored daily fruit and vegetable blends. I mean, this is a top-selling product compared to any other greens product on the market. I ask people to do that. You will not find a product with 9 grams of greens per serving. You just won't find it. You won't. Or it will be filled with all sorts of different fillers and inulin, and all sorts of different fibers that is not part of the greens. Take a scoop of our daily fruit and vegetable blend, put it next to a scoop of another. You will see for the same 1-to-1 serving, whatever they give you for a scooper and our scooper, you will see how dark green and rich ours is. It's like bluish green. It has so many phytonutrients in it without any of the sugar. So it's a phenomenal product. It's a product that I use every single day. It's something that I believe in, and the majority of people in our practice are using that as part of their daily foundational protocol. So right now, any purchase over $199, you get 2 free bottles, because we want you to share that ideally with someone else in your family, your friends, your community. The other one is this, is that we are offering our very first deal on our Fatlossity system. And that is because we know so many people want to burn body fat and lose the weight in this new year. This is the best way to do it, and this is the reason why. It is a full protocol. You're not just getting a system that's proven to burn more body fat 24 hours a day. It's the first ever day and night-based formula. But you're getting the entire course that I wrote along with it. This is essentially $197, $297 course, yours free, when you sign up for Fatlossity. It gives you the shopping list. It teaches you how to exercise properly, all of these different things. It is a full fat loss-based system. We're offering our first ever deal right now over at equa.life. Check it out. You won't want to miss it, because when it's gone, it's gone. It literally is over. We're not going to be bringing that back most likely in 2021. So the truth is this: you can get your lab, or you can get the Fatlossity system, a couple if you want, that are going to last you because they're 30-day supplies. And then you can even get the 2 daily fruit and vegetable blend on top of that. I mean, that would be a pretty phenomenal deal. So check that out. Just head on over to equi.life. Equa.life. EquaLife is the new brand for Equilibrium Nutrition. We launched that in late October with the goal of 2021 really trying to bring the absolute best of education and living a life in balance, living that equilibrium, or achieving equilibrium. All right, that's what we have going on over our global health-based practices. Stay tuned, of course, for Integrative Health Practitioner. And we've got a lot going on there, but I'm not going to talk about that this week. Now, hopefully you were tuning in. I know it's a holiday week. But we had so many big podcasts launch this week. So I do hope that you tuned in. The Motivation and Mindset Monday. Let me get the number for you. That was episode 1781. Okay. How to choose the right goal for you. We're going into the new year. People choose goals that they're not going to stick to. And I give you the reasons why. I teach you basically how to choose a goal that's right for you. Check that out. 1781. 1782 was, does protein cause cancer, and does fasting prevent it? Controversial show. You have to tune into that one. That was 1782. 1783, Wednesday's show was, skipping breakfast is now proven to be detrimental for many people unless you do this one specific thing. That is a game changer. 2 brand new studies came out showing that if you don't do this and you're fasting 16 hours a day, you're going to be losing muscle and putting on body fat. And that was across the board over a 12-week study. So definitely check that one out. All right. Now I want to bring you, yesterday's show was with Dr. James Odell. Dr. James Odell is the head of, the executor of the Bioregulatory Medicine Institute in the U.S. So bioregulatory medicine started over in Europe, namely in Germany, Sweden, and Switzerland. And people ask me all the time, like, how do I learn what you're talking about, what you're teaching, all the different things? Well, first of all, we teach all of this inside of the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute. But if you were to ask me, like, what is it that you do? Well, I'm a bioregulatory medicine practitioner. I mean, that is, yes, traditional naturopathy, yes, all of these different things, but it's combined into that, which is why we call it the Integrative Health Practitioner, because bioregulatory medicine is where we go deeper, is how we teach people to a deeper level, because you can study functional medicine and you can learn about labs and it's great. but you won't know the protocols and the underlying root cause imbalances unless you study and begin to learn about bioregulatory medicine. It's an amazing field. It is complex, but again, this is what I teach every single day on the Cabral concept, and I try to make the complex and the chaotic a lot more simple so that you can implement these things in your real life, because I know that not everyone has the time or the interest in studying all of these things. So I try to bring you 20 minutes every single day of actionable based tips and breaking down the research so you understand the true underlying root causes and imbalances keeping you from living the life of wellness and health and weight loss and anti-aging that you're looking for. So that was yesterday's show. Tuned into that. Dr. Odell, amazing guy, really diverse background as well. And today, of course, we have our Friday review, and tomorrow and Sunday will be the house calls that we do every single weekend, answering your questions. Okay, so let's get into this week's product review. All right, so I just interviewed, won't be coming out for about 4 weeks, but I just interviewed Nick Pineault. And Nick Pineault is really I would say journalist, like a health journalist who is focused on EMFs. So really looked at the research, looked at the studies, and has published a book on that. I'm going to talk about the book, but I'll talk about it again when he comes on the show. So, and I've mentioned it previously in the past, but the book is called The Non-Tinfoil Guide to EMFs. Great book, came out about 2 years ago. I think I've mentioned it previously. I will definitely link it up today at stephencabral.com/1785. Okay, so, but I wanted to mention this, is that we were talking about it on the show. And one thing that I bought out of necessity for my cottage in Maine is something called the Powerline networking system. And my Wi-Fi is not very strong in Maine at all. The wireless signal is not very strong. We're talking about like 3 or 4, I think it's like megabytes for upload speed, like very, very slow. But it gets worse as you get away from that wireless modem. And I do not want to put wireless modems and routers and repeaters all around my house, because the closer you are to those wireless devices like the modems, the more there are EMFs there are. So I don't want to do that, but we still want Wi-Fi. We still want that. So what I've really discovered by talking to people in the industry is something called Powerline networking. And what it does is your modem essentially plugs into this power line adapter, which goes into your outlet. Now, when it goes into your outlet, now the Wi-Fi is allowed to move through the electrical circuitry in your house. Now, this can cause, though, what's called dirty electricity. And I agree with that. But here is the workaround. Whatever outlet you have now, Wi-Fi is flowing through that. It's pretty unbelievable. So the Wi-Fi is now on your wires in your house, your electrical wires. So what happens is when you plug in, though, one of these power line adapters, you can have Wi-Fi signal from that. However, you don't have to. You can actually plug in Ethernet cords into these power line adapters, which is what we did, so that there would be less Wi-Fi for my daughters when they're doing at-home virtual school right now for this year, while the pandemic has schools, at least around us in Boston, locked down. So whether we're in Boston or whether in Maine, we have this device. Here's the nice thing. They can hardwire now. So we can turn the Wi-Fi off on their devices. So no Wi-Fi on their laptop or no Wi-Fi on their iPad, depending on what they're using. So now those can be Wi-Fi free. So the Wi-Fi is not being picked up to their body, and they're within what? A foot of their computer, because they can't be 3 feet away like I am right now from my computer. And if you're watching this on video, I'm more than a hand distance away, right? So if my arm is not quite 3 feet, but if I'm going from here to here, I'm 3 feet away. The Wi-Fi is much less from that computer, the radiation as well. Well, my daughter, how long is her arm? A foot? Like, she's much younger, so she has to be closer to the device. Now, the power line adapter, the power line networking system, I will link up to it. So if you've never heard about it, meaning I didn't hear about it before this March when I started to look into it. So I've only known about it 6-8 months or so. But what I also realized was that just going from one Wi-Fi to a device to another is not a good thing. So if you're using it for Wi-Fi, it's absolutely going to improve your signal. Now, if you're going to do that, I get it. I understand. You just want to make sure that you're still a good 6 to 10 feet away from that device. So don't put it right next to your desk, okay? So when you use an Ethernet cord, just get an Ethernet cord that's 10 feet long. You know, it's pretty simple, 10, 12-foot long Ethernet cord. I mean, they make 50-foot cords if you want. And so you don't need to be close to the device, all right? So you plug it in, and then they make adapters, believe it or not, for an iPad and even for an iPhone. So Nick Pineault, he actually has the Wi-Fi off on his phone, and he hardwires it in through an Ethernet cord. Now, I don't do that, right? He's next level, and I think it's fantastic. I really do. I use a wired headset always. I don't put the phone next to my head, and I have a Wi-Fi shield in this. So if I put it in my pocket, I've talked about this before, then the Wi-Fi shield goes against my body, all right? So that's what I do. I find a happy medium, and this computer right now is hardwired in. So they make adapters, and so it's actually pretty simple. It really is. I will give you some of those, and I will link them all up at StephenCabral.com/1785. So if you're like me, you're at home, you're trying to cut back on your EMFs, but you need a good, strong Wi-Fi signal, this could be a great solution. And believe me, when you hardwire in, you're not going to get a better Wi-Fi signal than that. That's for sure. All right. So up next, book review. I talked about it before. I'm going to talk about it again when Nick is on the show in about a month from now, called the non-tinfoil guide to EMFs, basically a science-based guide on EMFs and how you can go about reducing them in your own home. I've done podcasts before on that. I'll try to link up some of the EMF podcasts as well. Everything will just be today at StephenCabral.com/1785. Okay. What I also wanted to share with you besides book review is right now you can get access to 2 of my, what we're calling Dr. Cabral masterclasses. These are 90-minute masterclasses that I teach, and I'm going to be coming out with more of these, okay? But the first 2 are available right now, and a lot of people don't know about it because we are not master marketers. We are not, singing these things from the rooftops, which I think we should, and hopefully we get to that point in the future. But they are completely free, meaning you sign in, you get free 90 minutes on how your thyroid became imbalanced. Honestly, I give you all the different reasons of how it happened and then what you can do, the 3 options for healing. And I do the same thing right now for female hormone imbalances. That goes for women on birth control. That goes for women premenopause, perimenopause, and postmenopausal. So check this out if you haven't already, completely free. I believe, because this is based on 20 years of my research and in real world practice, I believe that you'll learn more from that than reading a half a dozen books on the topic. I mean, it's free, so I can't guarantee it, but it's free. You can still get your money back, which is 0. And you can check those out. All kidding aside, though, I really put a lot of effort into these. I mean, we're talking 100 plus hours for these health results accelerators, and I'm giving you the 90 minutes of how you became imbalanced completely free. So check it out. Just go to StephenCabral.com/courses, and you'll be able to see the female hormones rebalancing and the thyroid rebalancing. You don't have to sign up for the Health Results Accelerator if you're not ready for it. I totally get it. I understand. I'm giving you, though, the master class completely free. And after reading it over, you can actually just sign in for that master class. So enjoy it, a holiday gift from me to you. So check that out. All right. And now 2 research studies for the week. Big ones. The first one is this. And I'm just such a believer in this that you need to know this going, if you're dealing with health and wellness-based issues right now, and I would even say trying to lose weight, check this out right now, is that when you are looking at treating chronic digestive conditions, 50 to 84%. I mean, that's a lot, right? So the vast majority, 2/3 plus, we'll say, of IBS patients, and I think that, again, I don't know that I gave you this specific study before, so I wanted to bring it to you. I know I've given you before. They had SIBO, right? So they had small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So I just want to let you know that one of the pre-existing conditions, like the chronic-based underlying root causes for many of the health issues that we see in our practice is digestive issues. And people just begin to believe that having to avoid food so they don't get bloated or have gas or acid reflux is normal. It's not. If you can't eat a wide variety of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, we're talking healthy foods, but if you can't eat those and you have to stay away because you gain weight, you feel bloated, you get joint pain, you get migraines, you have mood disturbances. Like if you have those issues, it's very likely that you have candida overgrowth And from this study, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And I see it over and over in the real world and in my practice, but not just my practice, in my colleagues' practices as well. That's why you don't have to just work with us over at Equal Life if you don't choose to. Like, I'm okay with that. I really am. But I want you to know what may be ailing you. And then you can work with any one of our integrative health practitioners around the world. I mean, these are people that are certified to do what we do. You don't have to work with us. They're totally separate from us. They really are. Or you can work with your local functional medicine or naturopathic doctor. All of that is good for me. I mean, really, like, the goal for me is if you come back to me and say, I worked with so-and-so, or I did this, or I followed this protocol, I ran this lab, and I got the results I was looking for. That's what it's all about. I mean, I've done my practice. I really have. Like, I would love you to work with us over at Equal Life. You can run the Candida Metabolic and Vitamins Lab. You can run the Bacteria and Parasite Stool Lab. You can run the IgG Food Sensitivity Test. You can run all three of those and figure out exactly what's going on with your digestive system. I would love for you to do that. You'll get a personalized plan along with that as well, okay? So definitely don't overlook that. But honestly, I just want you to find the results that you're looking for. And you're not going to be able to get the results that you want without first figuring out the underlying root causes. You're just not. You're going to be drawing at straws. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be stressed. You're going to be just so much time and energy in just trial and error and trying to figure it out. It's so much easier to pinpoint it. And you can look for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth just with something like the Candida or the, which is just a urine test, and the bacteria and parasite test. So, I mean, they're amazing labs. You really only need to run them once. I mean, you don't even have to do the follow-up labs again if you don't want to, because you're going to get the results. And once you get the results, you know that you're better. Like, you know that you're feeling well because you followed a proven protocol that we've been using in our practice for many, many years. So I'll link this up. This was by Dr. Sonpal, a board-certified gastroenterologist, and an assistant professor at Touro College of Osteopathic Medicine in New York City. So I don't know, this is worth repeating if I brought it to you before, but I'm going to mark it down right now as done on episode 1785. All right, the second one is this: sticking with the gut microbiome. Air pollution damages gut bacteria, reducing microbial diversity and encouraging growth of species associated with obesity, diabetes, and other chronic diseases because it increases inflammation. The relationship between air pollutants such as ozone and diseases such as type 2 diabetes and inflammatory bowel disease has been known for some time. Inflammatory bowel disease is IBD. But now a study suggests that these and other diseases actually occur because pollutants damage the diversity of the organisms, microorganisms in the gut. The study suggests that parks, playgrounds, and housing should be moved away from high pollution areas and more money should be spent to improve air quality. Look at that, right? What have we talked about in the rain barrel effect? What is one of the top 10 causes of dis-ease in our life? Air pollution, right? Pollutants. So I love to see that modern medicine, and if you're watching this on video, the air quotes are coming out, modern medicine is finally catching up to what we've known for many, many years in natural health. This was this was published in Environmental International, and it was done out of the University of Colorado Boulder. I will certainly link up that study, but again, we have to remember, the more toxic our environment, the more EMFs, the more environmental pollution, all of that affects our entire body. And yes, breathing it in can affect our gut microbiome. I will link these up for you. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. All the details and so much more available at stephencabral.com/podcast. And for today, stephencabral.com/1785. As I always say, if this podcast was helpful, please do feel free to share it with anyone else you believe it could serve. Take care, everyone, and I'll talk with you tomorrow during our Cabral House Calls.